Thank you, Anna. This really means a lot to me. And for something that I really care about a lot. And this is something that's I'm going to cherish it for a long time. Thank you. So as I was asked to deliver my remarks today, let me see, how can I get my presentation on? As I was asked to deliver my remarks today, I reflected back on my own career. And I thought that what I could talk to the junior colleagues in the audience that could be helpful for them as they are embarking on their own academic career. And what I thought is that I could talk to them about some attributes that have helped to shape my own career, which I thought would be helpful. But before I do that, I do want to take a moment to thank CAPER for bestowing me this honor, as well as for the tremendous work as an organization that they have done over the past so many years to really fulfill an important gap in our field. And a lot of those programs that they are doing, it meant MySum actually already introduced you to many of those. And I've been fortunate to be a part of some of this. For example, over the past 5 years, I've had the opportunity to participate in the CAPER Scholar Program, and these are pictures from the 2 in-person meetings we have had for this program. And then last year, CAPER also started the CAPER Visiting Fellow Program in collaboration with NPF, and UPMC was fortunate to be asked to have an adult GI fellow come to our program, Dr. Lean Al-Said from St. Louis University, who's a trained hepatologist and a chief fellow there, who wanted to get extra training in pancreaticobiliary disease. And then to NPF for hosting the Fellows Symposium over the last so many years that has given a tremendous opportunity for fellows and junior faculty to interact with leaders in the field to develop relationships that could last a lifetime. But in terms of attributes, I do want to start with passion. And in simple terms, passion is something that, in my opinion, is something that you would want to do, not because you want a reward from that. You just do because you love doing something. And maybe one may need to ask as to how do you define yourself? And from an academic standpoint, I would define myself as a clinician to the core, a medical pancreatologist, an epidemiologist, and somebody who likes to work with others. And as you grow in your academic career, there are many things that may come naturally to you, but there are going to be many things that you are inspired by people who are around you. And I've been fortunate for each of these attributes, I've been inspired by other people. And perhaps the most important person is C.S. Picciamoni. Many of the senior members in the audience would recognize Dr. Picciamoni, who's very well respected in the field. Even before he came to the United States in the mid-60s, he had important contributions to the understanding of tropical pancreatitis and calcifications in pancreatic disease. Consummate clinician and a teacher, and really a drive and passion for research. And my interest in medical pancreatology and research directly comes from his influence. Before I came to the United States, I had 0 research experience and 0 papers. But it was his influence that drove me into the field of medical pancreatology. Even in his late 80s, whenever I talk to him, he's writing something, a book or a chapter or something. And this is, me and my wife visited him and his wife last year. That's a picture of that meeting. The second person I want to talk about, and my interest in epidemiology directly stems from Al Lowenfels. Again, senior members in the audience would recognize Dr. Lowenfels, who I can say is the father of pancreas epidemiology. He's one of the most brilliant people I've had the opportunity to meet. he had this ability to take the most complex concepts and produce, in a simple way, he can explain things to you. The first time I met with him was with Dr. Pichumoni. We went together because we put together some data during my fellowship. We spent an hour with him, and he actually looked at the data. This is what the message from this analysis is. And I was just amazed from that. But then when I was doing my master's, I got an opportunity to reach out to him to seek his mentorship. And ever since, he has been there. In fact, I got an email, this is today, he's in his mid-90s, but yesterday he attended the NIDDK workshop, and he said, great job yesterday. So it's just amazing how, he has helped me over the years. And then my interest in clinical research, comes from Suresh Jari, somebody who has made important observations in clinical practice and really driven the field in so many ways. Tropical pancreatitis before he came to the United States, then cystic tumors, the field of autoimmune pancreatitis, and then diabetes as a high-risk group in patients for pancreas cancer. And then Dave Whitcomb, his energy, enthusiasm, and his dedication to research and discovery and to collaboration, and then giving me an opportunity. I don't know what's happening here, but that's okay. But for me after I started working with him, he basically handed me over NAPS too. And for somebody who has just finished a master's in epidemiology, it's like gold mine. What else can you ask for? And it has just been amazing that he has been there for mentorship and guidance all along. So as you think about things, the question that you may want to ask about as you are embarking on your academic journey, how would you like to define yourself, or how would you like others to define you? So think about becoming an expert in at least one area. As soon as your name comes, somebody should be able to associate you with this. This is what this person does. This is what their interest is, or this is what their expertise in. I think you'll be successful. And then you'll need mentors along the way, not one, but many mentors over the years at different stages of your life and to work with. The second thing, Anna already gave it away, what my name means, but patience and perseverance are very important. And this directly goes to my parents, who are my heroes. Both very simple people. They had their own challenges in life, but it is the way of life that I learned from them. They never sat with me to teach me anything, but they taught me by example. Whatever hardships were, never complained about things, always wanted to do what is right, and never asking for a reward for anything that they are doing for anybody. But the reason I bring it up is academic journey is very long, and it needs a lot of hard work, honesty, integrity, but you need to have patience, and you need to persevere about what your real interests are. And I say this, that it is important for satisfaction. It is not success. Success that is different meaning for different people. I think you need to do what you're doing because you are satisfied with what you're doing, not because you're looking for 50 papers or 100 papers or this award or that award. You need to do what you like to do. But I do believe that whatever is yours is going to come your way. But when it comes your way, you need to be humble and you need to be grounded. That's very important. Collaboration. At my own university or hospital, I've been really fortunate to work with so many collaborators. In addition to David, Adam and Randy have been there all along, being supportive for the work and collaborating. Michael O'Connell, who worked very closely with me on the NAPS2 data for many years, along with Gong Tang. George, we have been partners in a lot of work over the years we have done together, and more recently, Fred Toledo and Gavin Artiel. A very important part of your research is to have great people working with you. And this is our research team during one of our team meetings. Each of these individuals are extremely dedicated and passionate about what they do. And it is their hard work that allows us to be able to do what we are doing. And I cannot thank them enough. As I mentioned earlier, NAPS 2 provided a wonderful platform for me to interact with some of the brightest people around the country. Many a times I could talk to them one-to-one, I could work with them one-to-one, thinking through analyses, thinking about projects and writing manuscript, but most importantly, learning from them along the way. And in the past few years, there are a few points that I do want to make. The past 15 years have been really wonderful for clinical and translational research in pancreatitis. And one important reason for that is the support that the NIDDK and NCI has provided to the field. So that has been critical. What it has done is it has brought people with diverse interests together, and that has resulted in some important things. One, it has broken down barriers. It is not your study or my study or your project or my project. It is our project. We are all working towards complex problems where we cannot have answers ourselves. We have to work with each other. And that's important. We have to learn from each other. And that has been the biggest thing that has happened or a result of this. So thanks to NIDDK and NCI for that. But it is also interesting to see in many of these large collaborative studies for young trainees and junior faculty to be participating in this and taking ownership and leadership for so many opportunities that are coming along the way, which will help them in their career. So that is fantastic to see. So the important point here is, it is important to remember that progress in science is incremental. We stand on the shoulders of giants. We build on the work that people who have come before us have done. And a collaborative approach is critical to answer difficult questions. Then I want to move on to mentoring, something which is very, very close to me and something that I really care about a lot. And in the past 20 years or so, I've had the opportunity to interact with some of the brightest residents, hospitalists, and fellows. And it's really, really very nice to see and satisfying to see how a resident or a fellow will start a project and then bring it to completion and then present it, and then you have a manuscript coming out of it. It just gives you tremendous satisfaction when you see this process evolves, and many a times for the fellow to go back a few years and say, look, this is something that we did together. And then you have people who really take opportunities and really run with it. So Anna has done really a wonderful job in the past few years, starting with American Pancreas Association Career Development Award to develop pilot data for QST testing, and then transform that into a career and really a program, and really led the PQST consortium in collaboration with Vikesh at Hopkins and our collaborators in Denmark, including Asbjørn Drews and Soren Elson. The program has now expanded to several centers within the US and internationally. And then to Jamie Solomon. She brings a unique expertise to our pancreas program. But one thing I want to highlight about here in Jamie, and it was discussed yesterday in the NIDDK workshop, I think it is very important for basic scientists, translational people, and clinicians to be talking the same language. If we are not going to talk the same language and we are not going to talk the same outcomes of interest, we are basically working in silos and we are never going to make progress. The thing about Jamie I see is she's equally interested to sit in our statistics meetings because she wants to know what is important for us as clinicians. Because if you know that, then you can actually bring that back to the animal models and other work that you're doing, which I think is critical. So the point that I want to make here is look at opportunities where you can mentor other people. And the thing to remember is it is not about you. Because if it becomes about you, then you cannot be a good mentor. It is not about you, it is about them. And your legacy will not be defined by how many papers you wrote. Your legacy is going to be defined by how successful your mentees have been. Important, because they are going to carry the baton further. And lastly, I do want to recognize my wife, Monisha. We have been together since med school, but she's one of the brightest people that I've seen. She used to be first in class. I used to be second. No shame in admitting. But she's somebody who actually speaks her mind. She's somebody who will show you the mirror that you need to see. And that's very important, I think, as a person. It has been a great partnership that we have had over the years. And our two children, Rohan and Ria, are not children anymore. They are young adults and they are doing their own thing now. But the last thing I want to say here is you are on a long journey. You know, you need to have gas in the tank and you need to take care of yourself. Because if you don't do that, then it's difficult to keep going. I go to the gym, I do yoga, and I do whatever I do, but you need to think about what you need to do that is not work. At least one day a week, or maybe more. Take time off. And you need to take care of yourself and your loved ones. So I would end here, and I really want to thank CAPER for the honor that they have given me. Thank you.